Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Let me adjust this real quick. I just want to convey the message that's coming through this morning. First of all, it's time to get to work. It's time to get to work. Whatever you've had going on in the last week or so, the energy of this full moon, this Leo full moon, has felt like burning shit down. Like burning down what doesn't serve, where you have the resolve to get to. There's something, this like little insecurity that you needed other people's approval to be who you are or to do what you want to do. That little bit of insecurity, this full moon has been burning the shit out of that. It's like, I don't care anymore. I am me. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do it the way that I want to do it. And those that don't align with that, I am going to stop trying to please them and chase them and convince them and bring them on my team. It's like your team is sitting there waiting around the corner for you, waiting for you to realize that, man, you're fucking amazing just as you are. Like, I'd take you in a heartbeat. I'm seeing this like team scenario. Waiting to snatch you up because they appreciate you. There is a tribe of people waiting to like appreciate you and who you are and your gifts and what you do for them and what you give for them. There's like this, I did a video a little bit ago about two different timelines. If you're feeling lost, your in-between timelines. I feel like this full moon has moved out of the way. Energies, people, situations, thoughts that were holding you back from stepping onto the proper timeline. The one where you are free, that you get to be free. There's a lot of layers of this. I feel a lot of past life energy, a lot of... one of the last videos that I did, I was talking about just having a case of the buckets and like the school system not honoring human nature and the way things are. And I think it's connected to Native energy, Native American energy, where the children were civilized or taught to be civilized, or the Indian children were taken to schools. And the Native American was beaten out of them. Their language was squashed in order to create this civilized society. So the institution of school reflects that in certain ways. Still, I don't want to get off track, and I don't know that I am getting off track. It's all connected, but there are like so many different energies that I'm tuning into here that are like, can you tell me why this is happening? Can you tell me why this is happening? And for some of you, it's like frenzied, and I just want you to just slow your roll. Just slow your roll. 333 on my recording. Sit in the middle of this right here. I'm just going to send you some Reiki. I'm going to send you some energy to calm down the voices in your head, because they're not all yours. Some of them are rippling over from other people's energy from past lives, people that you're involved with, people that you will become involved with, that I feel like the universe is preparing you to interact with. It is time for you to get to work in being you, in the way that you want to be you. Like the plans that we've put in place, the path, the places that we want to go, the things that we want to do, we've been envisioning them, and we've been wishing for them and hoping for them in this space of, oh, I hope that I could get to that point, and I wish things could be this way. And now it's like, let's make them that way. Why can't it be that way? It is that way and will be something that I see as that way because I decide that right now. Like, we're in the space of literally stepping onto this new timeline. So the point where action is, it's like Kairos, the energy of Kairos. It's like the moment that God acts, the moment that there is this where you go from sitting still to doing. That it's like the power move. I call it, my best friends and I used to call it a power. Somebody's making a P move. Somebody's making a power move. Where all of a sudden you're like, all right, let's go. Come on, guys, let's go. Let's stop talking about it. Let's go. Let's do. And it creates this ripple effect and it creates this action. This full moon, I think, has shown you where you're being weighed down by other people's energy. They're reflecting an old version of you, but it's almost like you've now accepted that that's an old version of you, that person that you're involved with is reflecting where you used to be. And instead of trying to get them on board with and bring them along onto this new timeline, you're like, okay, you know where to find me. I'll be up here on this one. There's a part of you that has been holding you back. An inner child, an old version of you that was holding you back, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection and all of that. That has been like, you're going to be alone though, and people are going to make fun of you, or whatever it is that you're trying to do right now. There was this fear of ridicule and being made fun of and not fitting in. That now is being burned off, and it's like, I don't like that shit anyway. Like the cool kids in high school who bonded with each other because they would drink a lot. And now in your older age, it's like me, in your older age, can't drink anymore. And it makes me feel like shit. And I just don't want to recover for 2 days. And it doesn't feel fun for me in that way anymore. And so it's like, why do I want to fit in that place? That's just an example. But I think that you're meant to help those people in some way. But whoever it is that's in your life that's kind of weighing you down, that has issues, that has, maybe a heavy situation going on, a friend of yours who you can see is making bad choices or is hurting. It's like you're tuning into their lack and it's creating lack in your life because of your big, beautiful, bleeding heart, your empathic nature. That human nature is really beautiful. But it needs to be steered. It's like, don't hide that part of yourself. Don't let others who say you're too sensitive, or those that aren't in a place where they can express their emotions, or don't let them kill your spirit. Tune into the spirit of you and know that, like, what it is that you feel and the way that you feel, the way that you're able to feel so deeply is so beautiful, and it has a purpose. So right now, this is where we step onto a timeline of that purpose revealing itself to you. Those that you have been trying to get to accept you or to fit in with, or that job that you've been trying to get in the career that you always have been working on and thought that you would lead to, that ain't it. You're like, well, but what though? I don't know how to do anything else. You're getting ready to be shown where your gifts, you as you are valuable and valued in this world, in this society. It's like the thing that they were trying to beat out of you is the thing that they need most of all right now. When you realize that, it's like, take it to the fucking bank. So the full moon is burning that stuff off. This Goblin cards is the first one that came out in reverse. Got goblins, the storm fields, dry desert, and solitude. Solitude in reverse. So this Goblin's card in reverse, what I hear, what I see is not my circus, not my monkeys. Not my circus, not my monkeys. The goblins that you see are not yours anymore. You resonate with them, you recognize them, you see these demons in other people. You see these patterns, you see these behaviors. This thing somebody said was like, ooh, red flag, red flag. But you recognize that red flag because you've been through it before. You either were that energy, you either like tackled that shadow within you, that narcissistic tendency, that situation, this person ghosting you, or this person saying something that somebody in the past said to you also. It was like, oh, but I kept running with that. I kept attaching to that. I kept trying to get them to see my worth, and I kept trying to explain myself to them in order to get them to see like what I really meant by that, or like for them to see the real me. It was like, and the convincing them and the trying to change their mind, their perception of you, 1111 on my recording, was that insecurity that I'm talking about right now that is being burned off. You at the time attached to their insecurity, to their triggers, and it made you feel unsafe, insecure, and so you felt like you needed to shift and change the situation and balance it so that they weren't in survival mode anymore, they weren't triggered anymore, so that you could feel safe. Now the thing that makes you feel safe is saying, they're triggered, I'm fucking out of here. Not out of a lack of sympathy or empathy, we understand, but we can also understand that it's their job to recognize that and to see the way that they react within the situation. This storm, not yours. They're going through a massive storm right now. There's one of you, 1, 2, 3, whatever, that is at a company that's going through a storm right now. And it's like you keep trying to tell your boss, but it keeps coming back at you. Like, what did you say to that client? What was the conversation that you had? Blah, blah, blah. Like, they're trying to nail down who the problem is, but really it's the management's problem. It's them. There's something about the way that they're approaching it and seeing a situation that they have not taken ownership for. And so this shit is really getting ready to hit the fan. There is an energy of not having to explain yourself. Get out of the way of the storm. If you end up getting fired or having to quit, it is a gift. It's a gift to show where you are out on your own right now anyway. You are not on the right team. And so, getting fired, someone ghosting you is a gift. It's a gift because they are meant to go and like observe themselves and find self-awareness and look at their triggers, look at what it is that's coming up for them, heal that on their own. It's not your job to do that for them. And it's not your job to absorb what they try to project at you. That boundary that said, nope, that's not mine. Nope, you go deal with that. You want to ignore me? Great. Go do that. Because it's showing you where you were on your own within that situation anyway. The way that they were operating, the way that they are currently operating, puts you out on an island and makes you vulnerable constantly. It will constantly put you in a state of survival mode and needing to protect yourself because you can sense that they are only looking out for themselves right now. They don't have space. Your boss is so worried about their job and their numbers and the way that it looks to their higher ups that you are expendable. You're a number on a paper. You are to whoever this situation is. It's like I see the parallel between someone with a job and someone with a partner or somebody that they're involved with. All of a sudden they've pulled back. All of a sudden it's like, where the hell did they go? You're like, You can see the storm over here going on, though. It's like a big storm. Step back. It's not yours to fix. It is not like the team of people that you used to have around you. You were the fixer. You were the healer. You're the one that was like holding the energy up. It's not yours to do. The reversed goblins. It's often difficult to deal with someone else's issues because they impact your own. That's the hardest part. No one is perfect, but in this case, you're particularly vulnerable to being manipulated. Don't take this world personally. When the goblins cards arrives reversed, it's a sign to step back with detachment. Don't take it personally. They're looking for someone to blame. They're looking for someone to place this imbalanced, insecure, scared energy onto. And you normally are the one who would absorb it and have to do the work to transmute it. There is a really important shift happening where you're like, that's not about me. That's not about me, and I'm not going to even think for a second that it's about me. Don't let other people's stuff lead you into reacting from an old wound. Love yourself unconditionally. Set boundaries, and your goblins will fall asleep. Love is the only answer. So this is, whatever situation this is stirring up when you felt abandoned, rejected, left out in the cold, and you right now are able to look at it from a different vantage point. It's like, I mean, my dad left when I was 5 years old, but looking back at it now, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. It's like, I don't really like him very much as a person. Like, I was trying to fit in with my God-given family and the ones who I'm supposed to trust and are supposed to love me and care about me. And looking back on it now, it's like, he's a mess. All he did was bring storms because he wasn't able to see. He wasn't able to see his own goblins. He wasn't capable of self-awareness. It was always somebody else's fault. So having been removed from that situation, as hard as it was for that little girl, man, I don't even like him. He's just not a nice person. He's very selfish and doesn't treat other people like... It's like that perspective right now. So you felt this person, this situation, this job, this relationship, whatever it is, you feel alone in it anyway. You can feel the misalignment. And it's time to detach from that being your fault or not being good enough or not being able to shift it. It's time to get to work. There's something else that you're supposed to be focusing on right now. And so this person stepping back or maybe like a promotion that you didn't get or something like that. It's a gift. You're supposed to be focusing on something else. Do you have an artistic project? Do you have this, like, I've been wanting to create this deck of oracle cards for the longest time. And I just have a book over there where I'm keeping track of ideas and stuff like that. But it's been sitting there for a long time, gathering dust. I haven't funneled my energy towards that. Why? Because it's being taken up by other things that I'm trying to help or I'm trying to put my energy into and trying. It's time to shift this way, and the universe is going to make sure that you do that by not allowing this thing over here to take your focus anymore. You're going to be forced. And it's going to be for your highest good because other people's shit has weighed you down for too long. Other people's judgment. You judging yourself for not being good enough. It's like you and your inner child have teamed up. That's the real team. And where she was saying or hearing, the higher you fly, the further you fall. Take it down a notch, kid. You're too much. You're too emotional. You're too this, you're too that. Your inner child who was over there crying in the corner, something about this moon. You have turned to her, him, whoever, and said, snap out of it. No, fuck that. No, you come with me right now and I'm going to show you who you really are. I'm going to show you where those emotions, those gifts, who you really are. Let me show you who really needs that right now. Let me show you where people are calling to you because they want that more than anything. I'm going to show you how to rein it in, and I'm going to show you how to create boundaries around it and protect it and value it for yourself, and not expose yourself in a place where you shouldn't be, and not funnel that in places where you're trying to get approval. You will never get the approval from that place because you weren't supposed to, because they're not capable of receiving it. Your vibration is in a certain place and theirs is in a certain place, and it just will always bounce off of each other. She was saying, I'm not good enough. And you're saying, you have a right. You are allowed to be you. You have just as much right to take up that space in whatever way you want to, just like everybody else does. And I value that. I'm going to take you and I'm going to show you a team of people who are the same as you. Would you tell them you're not good enough? No, because you're going to be so in awe of the gifts that they have too, and resonate with the way that they express themselves, that it's going to feel more like home than you've ever known before, and it's going to feel real uncomfortable at first. But I got you. So whatever it is that you're working on right now, I got you. Okay? Get to work. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. It's time to shift our focus. Serious case of the fuck-its. Remember? Back in the beginning of my channel, I used to say that all the time. Fuck fear. Serious case of the fuck fears that are holding us back from really being free to live. Let's live. There's fire energy here. I want to be alive. I want to be alive. That's what I hear. I want to be alive. All right, let me show you how. The inner child is saying, I want to be alive. I want to feel alive again. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go do it. Let's have fun. Okay? Whatever that means for you, if you need help figuring out what that means for you, all my information is down in the box below. You can book a session. You can book a reading. I can record a private reading for you and just send it over to you. Whatever you want. Just get a hold of me and, yeah, let's get to work.